Have you ever heard a voice that shouldn't exist? Not a ghost story. Not some urban legend. I'm talking about a real voice, coming from the other end of a 911 call, from a line that was supposed to be disconnected. Years ago, I used to work as a 911 dispatcher, and I thought I'd heard it all. Murders, overdoses, domestic calls, you name it. But the night I picked up that line, the one that wasn't supposed to ring, I realized something terrifying. Someone or something was calling me from inside the building. My name's Laura, and I spent 19 years working as a 911 dispatcher in a mid-sized city in northern Michigan. If you've ever done this job, you know it's not like TV. It's mostly silence, boredom, and the occasional call that rips you apart inside. I started in 2003, back when everything was still analog. Old phone boards, green monitors, and cassette recorders that clicked every time a line connected. By the time 2020 hit, everything was digital. Screens, databases, location tracking. But that old building still had its ghosts. Literally and figuratively. The first strange thing happened on March 14, 2021, a Tuesday night shift. Quiet night, light snow outside. Just me and another dispatcher, Tom. It was 12:14 a.m., dead hour. I remember because I was sipping my coffee and scrolling through training updates when a line blinked red. Line 7. Except, Line 7 hadn't been used in years. It was marked inactive. Old system relic. I thought it was a glitch, so I ignored it. Then it blinked again. Steady like a heartbeat. Then the sound. A single, hollow ring. Before I could even think, I picked it up. 911, what's your emergency? No answer. Just faint static. And breathing. Then, a whisper. Please help me. The voice was female, shaking, terrified. I asked her for her location, but she just kept repeating. He's inside the house. Please, please hurry. I typed the alert and transferred it to patrol. Standard domestic break-in. She mentioned a street name, Hawthorne Drive. I looked it up, and my stomach dropped. That address was already in our system. A closed case. Same address. Same name. The woman. Dead for 3 years. I froze. I thought maybe I was mixing up records. I checked again. The name, Megan L. Foster, matched perfectly. Cause of death. Homicide. Case closed. I remember Tom looking over at me, confused. What's wrong? He asked. I didn't know what to say. I just told him the call disconnected. But when we checked the call log, there was no record of line 7 ringing. No audio, no timestamp, nothing. It never happened. I tried to shake it off. Dispatcher burnout makes your mind play tricks. But the next night, the same thing happened. 12:14 a.m. Line 7. The same voice. Please. He's back. This time I tried tracing it manually. No signal, no coordinates, just blank space. Like the call was coming from inside our network. I called tech support the next morning. They ran a full system check. No malfunctions. They said, Line 7 hasn't been active since 2014. I told them I took a call from it. Twice. They laughed. Said maybe I was tired. Over the next week, I started keeping a personal log. Notes, times, patterns. Every night, between 12:12 and 12:15 a.m., Line 7 blinked red. Every night, same voice. Sometimes she'd whisper, he's inside. Other nights, she'd say, I can see you. Once, I heard my own name. Laura. It didn't make sense. My name wasn't in any public 911 database. No caller should have known who was answering. Then one night I made a mistake. I answered with my headset unplugged. The room went quiet, but I still heard her. Not through the headset, through the speakers. And her voice wasn't coming from the phone system. It was coming from behind me. I spun around so fast I knocked over my coffee. Empty room. Just the faint hum of monitors. Tom was off that night, and it was just me. The breathing didn't stop. It grew louder, ragged, panicked. then suddenly a scream so sharp it fried my headset. Then silence. When I looked at the screen, line 7 was gone. And in its place, a message flashed on the console. Connected. Internal call. That's not something our system could even do. No one can make an internal 911 call. The next morning, I showed the supervisor the footage from the dispatch camera. There was no audio, system malfunction. But when we zoomed in, we saw the phone light up at exactly 12:14. And for 14 seconds, the reflection on the monitor behind me showed another figure standing just over my shoulder. A woman. Short hair. Pale. Wearing a headset. She was in my seat. I stopped working nights for a while after that. Switched to daytime shifts. But I couldn't stop thinking about her voice. It was like she'd imprinted herself in my mind. Every time the phone rang, I expected it to be her. Then one afternoon, I got an email from IT. They'd found a ghost user in our system logs. Someone had been accessing archived 911 recordings under the username L.Foster. The same name. Megan L. Foster. The IT guy said it was probably a glitch. Maybe an old file carried over when we upgraded systems. But there's one thing that still haunts me. When we checked the oldest server backup from 2003, we found her name listed among dispatcher profiles. Dispatcher. Not caller. Employee. Her employee photo looked like the reflection from the footage. Short hair. Pale face. Headset. She'd been a dispatcher in our department. Before me. She'd gone missing in 2004 during a night shift. Her case unsolved. After that, I started digging into archived recordings. There were dozens labeled Lost Audio Line 7. Some were static. Others, faint conversations. And then I found one. Timestamp. March 14th, 2004. Exactly 17 years before the night I got that first call. I played it. You can hear her clearly. 911, what's your emergency? Then a scream. Male voice yelling, crashing, chaos. And her last words. Please, he's inside the house. Then silence. Every hair on my neck stood up. It was the same voice I'd been hearing. 17 years apart, identical. I tried reporting it to my captain. He listened to the audio and went pale. Then he told me something that still keeps me up at night. He said, "We never released those tapes to the public. Only the person who recorded them should have been able to access them. But those recordings were deleted years ago." A week later, I got one last call. Same time. Same line. Only this time, she wasn't asking for help. She said, "You can stop now. He's gone." I asked her who. But instead of answering, she whispered, "Check your line." I looked down. My phone display had changed. The label Line 7 was gone. It now said, Line 8 active. And then I heard my own voice say, 911, what's your emergency? Click. Call ended. I quit dispatch 6 months later. I still get calls sometimes. Block numbers, silent lines. When I answer, there's breathing. Sometimes a faint echo of my own voice. Sometimes hers. The last one came 2 weeks ago. 12:14 a.m. Same static. Same voice. Only one word this time. Next. There are things that happen in this world that no training can prepare you for. You can log the evidence, record the tapes, pull the files. But when the system itself starts speaking back, you realize some calls should have never been answered. If you ever work late at night and the phone rings from a line you don't recognize, don't pick it up. Not every call comes from the living. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. If you'd like to hear more true horror stories like this one, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment with your thoughts, and share this video with someone who stays up late. Because sometimes, the scariest part isn't the voice on the other end. It's when you realize it's yours.